Here.
Mr. Lebechi? Mr. Kim?
Here.
Ms. LaPresti? Here. Mr. Damari?
Here. Opening statement. As set forth in item G on the agenda and board policy, the board welcomes public participation. There are two opportunities for the public to speak. The first is at the beginning of the meeting for agenda items only, and the second is at the end of the meeting for other items. Please identify yourself when making a public statement and keep your presentation as brief as possible. Thank you. Let's please rise for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God. Thank you for joining us tonight, Homedale community. Before we start our meeting, we're going to have a moment of remembrance. With a heavy heart, I share the heartbreaking news of the passing of one of our beloved students, Yi Chloe Liu. She was a seventh grader, a bright, talented, and creative student who brought warmth and kindness to our school community. She faced her battle with incredible strength and bravery, and we are deeply saddened by her loss. As we come together as a school community, we ask that you please keep Chloe's family in your thoughts and prayers during this difficult time. I'd like to take a moment to share some of the teacher sentiments. Mr. Sherman mentioned that Chloe was a lovely light in his English class. Her warmth, kindness, and bright spirit touched everyone around her. She was a dedicated, incredibly bright student and a beautiful writer whose words carried depth and thoughtfulness. Chloe will be dearly missed, and her peers and teachers will never forget her presence and impact. Mrs. Fox mentioned that Chloe entered science class every day with a smile and had the ability to work seamlessly with all her peers in class. She had a warm personality that made everyone feel welcomed and respected. Chloe gave her best effort no matter the assignment and will always be remembered for her sweet disposition and kind nature. From Dr. Riso, Chloe was a wonderful student who had a love for music and enjoyed playing the flute. It was a pleasure having her in the chamber ensemble where her presence brought so much warmth and joy to those around her. From Mrs. Bayers, Chloe was a bright light in art club and art class. From the first sketch, you knew she had that raw creative talent. No matter which medium she chose, she met it as if it all came to her so naturally. Watching her work on a project or talking to another person, you could tell she was at peace and happy with everything going on around her. We're saddened by this loss. Our students mean everything to us in this Homedale community. Will you all please rise so we can have a moment of silence for Chloe and her family? Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite Coach Quinn up from the lacrosse team. Unfortunately, one of our Homedale alumni, Billy DeMayo, had tragically passed away in the terrorist attacks. And Coach has something planned for the lacrosse team. Billy was a lacrosse player here in Homedale, and he came back after he graduated to volunteer his time for our students and community, and he is very much missed. Thank you, Coach Quinn. Coach, hold on one sec. He's going to put the mic on for you.
We'll try this again. Good evening. My name is Brendan Quinn. I'm a phys ed teacher at SAT School, and I coach the boys and girls fencing and the boys high school lacrosse teams. As some of you may know, a Homedale High School alumni and former standout lacrosse player, Billy DeMayo, tragically lost his life in the January 1st terror attack in New Orleans. To say that Billy was a pillar in the Homedale lacrosse community would be an understatement. As a player, Billy was a 4-year varsity letter winner and a team captain his senior year. Upon graduating, Billy went on to play at Chestnut Hill College, where he once again was a team captain, earning all conference and winning a conference championship. After Chestnut Hill, Billy helped coach our winter and summer league teams, along with training some of our players in the offseason. He took great pride in giving back to the Homedale lacrosse community, and I know for a fact had a positive impact on many of the lacrosse players that have come through Homedale over the past few years. Please join us tomorrow night, March 27th, at Bob Rogie Field as we honor the life of Billy DeMeo before our home opener starting at 5:15 p.m. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach Quinn, and thank you. I appreciate that, what you're doing, and hopefully members of our community can make that. These students are, our students are what makes Homedale such a special place, and we care so much for them all. So I appreciate that and look forward to joining in that remembrance. We're going to move on to the presentations tonight. We are recognizing a volunteer group to start from William R. Satt School, the Bridges Program and Builders Club recognition. Dr. Cascone and Principal Seminelli, please. Are you coming up? And I have some words before I pass. We're taking a moment this year to recognize students in our community that are putting in time to volunteer. The Builders Club, these students put in a lot of hard work and dedication in serving our community through their involvement in this special club. Their commitment to leadership, service, and making a difference is truly commendable. And we invited them here tonight to make sure that they are seen, and we appreciate what they're doing for the community. So I'll pass it over to Dr. Cascone.
Thank you, President Damari. If I could invite the board down to sit in the front row. I think the students have prepared a presentation and will remain down there for the athletic recognitions as well. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to invite Principal Simonelli to come up and preside over the recognitions.
Good evening, everyone. It is really with great pleasure that we recognize the following students. Members of the Kiwanis Builders Club at SATS are Keone Behetti. He's not here this evening. Jordan Cohn. Come on down. And when you come down, if you can stand on the riser. Leonardo Damari. Patrick Higgins. Andrew Iglesias. Mahadi Kashyap, sorry. Cooper Lowenstein. Kenzie Mander. A lot of them. Elizabeth Stegner. Zoya Thomas. Leonardo Varvello. Sydney Wawanolet. And Andy Wu. Do you want me to do the advisors? We'd also like to recognize the advisors of this incredible club who really take so much time out of their day and on the weekends with these students to help them in their community service projects. And that's Mariana Sarro, Miss Mariana Sarro, and Miss Carla Villacres. Please come on down. We'd also like to take time to recognize and thank the president of the Homedale Kiwanis, Mr. Ron DeLuca, and the Kiwanis SATS representative, which is Mr. Lenny Sasso. Thank you so much. That's good. In a minute. Absolutely.
Board of Education, we are so very proud as a Homedale Kiwanis Club. You may not know us. You may hear about us. We are an organization of international volunteers that focus on improving our communities one child at a time. And the children you see here with all the time, and Marianne and Carla, the time they put in is so very special to us. We thank you all for your recognition, especially for the Builders Club tonight. And you're all welcome to come join the Kiwanis Club. All right? We're here for you and your children. We love you all. Thank you, Principal.
Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you so much. We'd also like to take a moment to recognize two very important people that are a part of SATS, who used to be a part of SATS and continue to be, and one of our teachers at SATS, who really spearhead many of the community service events that take place at SATS school, putting together baskets and working in conjunction with not only the Kiwanis Builders Club, but also with our social studies program, where there are so many different activities and programs that are related to community service. And Miss Melissa Barth, our teacher, our science teacher at SATS, has stepped up and taken the place of Miss Kathy Logan, who previously was at SATS for many years, and they run the Bridges by the Shore community program. So if you would please come up and be recognized. We thank you so much for all of your efforts, your time, our turkey drive, our food can drive. There you go. Thank you so much for all of your effort and your time.
Members of the board, if you'd join us on the rise just for a picture. Family members, please feel free to come up and take a picture.
Thank you, Principal Seminelli. Yeah, I'm going to be in Dr. Cascone for a second here. I'm going to move on to our athletes. Thank you for coming tonight as well. Pass the mic to Dr. Cascone.
Yeah, so super excited to see some of our winter athletes here tonight. In a moment, I'm going to turn the microphone over to Mr. Casal, our supervisor of athletics. Incredible winter season. Some really just exceptional accomplishments that we're going to recognize tonight. So congratulations to all those who are here tonight to be recognized, to the families. And with that, I will turn it over to Mr. Casal.
All right, first up, we're going to have a mix of awards tonight. Some are team-based, some are going to be individual-based, all right? So first up, we're going to start with fencing, all right? So our fencing team continues to grow. We've had back-to-back really strong years as teams, both boys and girls. This year, we're going to honor a couple individual performers. First up, we are going to have Luke, come on up. You're first team all district in the foil. Kristen, come on up. First team district, first place district in the foil. And Anastasia, you finished in second place overall in the state. Congratulations. Kristen, Luke, Anastasia, congratulations again. Next up, we have our track and field athlete. We're going to honor Lucas Lund this evening. As you can see, Lucas had a nice little run up there in the high jump. Lucas is your Monmouth County champion, your Shore Conference champion, your sectional champion. He finished second in the groups and advanced to the meet of champions. Congratulations, Lucas. Come on up. Okay, next up, we have swimming. Boys swimming team. I've been the athletic director for 3 years, and 2 of those years we were sectional champions. This year we were sectional runner-up. Chris has been a strong contributor to that team. This year, there's certain sports that have Shore Conference individual champions, others do not. Shore Conference is comprised of Monmouth and Ocean County. We have really strong athletics in our conference, so if you're taking down any of these championships, you got your money's worth. So Chris Hall is our 500-yard freestyle champion for the Shore Conference. Congratulations. Yeah. Congratulations, Chris. If you go in our gyms, we have a pretty strong basketball tradition on both the boys and girls side. We get to add another name to the list tonight. I've been able to watch Mackenzie play for 3 years. She's going to be continuing her career at the Division I level. This year, as a senior, she took on a leadership role and did a nice job with that. Congratulations, Mackenzie Tevan, 1,000-point scorer. Congratulations, Mackenzie. Another sport where you both compete individually and as a team. Our wrestling program has made tremendous strides over the last few years under Coach Oxley, and obviously the players and the parents. Tonight we get to honor two of them. First up, we have you make it to the 100-win club in wrestling. You had an outstanding high school career. So Jack Cleary, you got your 100th win at the districts, finished in second place. Congratulations. No, that's why. Yeah, thank you. Congrats, Jack. Alex Reyes couldn't be here tonight, but Alex won his 100th match this year as a junior. He finished second in the state. He finished a place winner in the state again. Last year, 7th. This year, 5th. He becomes Homedale's only wrestler to be a 2-time state place winner, and we got one more year left. So Alex Reyes, congratulations. Okay, some sports are off-site, so I may not get to them as much as I would like, but I did get to my fair share of hockey games this year, and we obviously are here for a reason, but I want to give a little bit of a backstory. Last year, Coach Diapollonia took over, and win losses don't always matter. Obviously, it's how your boys are competing and how much effort they're giving. Last year, they went 6-19. Nothing wrong with that because now we're celebrating championships. So as you could see, there's a lot of changes that can happen from year to year, and it goes to obviously the coaching staff and the players and their dedication. But a little bit more into the season. They start out, I think you lose your first 2 and then rattle off 5. So 5-2, solid start to the year. They go 5-6 over their next 11. So not bad, but hanging in there. But it's how you finish. So they end up the year 9-2 in their final 11 games, finishing with a 19-10 record. We won the Shore Conference tournament, which is outstanding accomplishment in its own. And then you guys continued and then took down the co-op sectional championship. Congratulations. Marlboro's won it before, but Marlboro Homedale has not. So it's our first time that our Homedale boys have helped bring that title home. We got to play at the Prudential Center, and although the game may have ended not in a matter in which you guys want it, it'll be memories that you'll always remember, and you still bring home some hardware. So congratulations on an outstanding season. Put me on the spot there, Mr. Reddy. What do you got, Coach? There you go, 19th in the state. Congratulations. That's why I got coaches. Good job. All right, you ready? All right, John Drew. Sorry, Cam Eastock. Dave Furman. Rob Ambergia. Canyon Klobuchar. Colton Klobuchar. Lincoln Makos. Matt McLaughlin. Aiden Marrera. Zach Price. Sasha Sachs. Tyler Scarpino. Joe Satilli. TJ Wesh. Assistant Coach Butterman. Head coach Diapollonia. Congratulations, guys. We also have our Coach of the Year and Team of the Year recognized by the paper. Congratulations, guys. Awesome. What do we got? Congratulations, Cam. Hey, he's coming at me, huh? We have a fairly newly created 2 years. 2 years, right? Maybe three, but 2 years where we've been competing. We have a competition cheer team. This was the second year we entered the state tournament, and not bad. Year two, they came in first place. So congratulations to our comp cheer team. Obviously, there's different divisions. So we won the co-ed gold division, the co-ed cheer dance division. Definitely proud of them. Year two, so goes to the dedication of our 3 coaches and our cheerleaders. So congratulations. Aliana Maravellis. You can clap. I think there's 3 of them here, but well, they're going to come on up. Amelia Hernando. Ava Fanzini. Emily Felice. Michaela Klotzman. Serena Sarmelli. Maddie Fletcher. Bella Spicer, you are here. Come on up. Hayden Baruch. Kate Freeman. Sebastian Ung. Sebastian, come on up. Mia Marino. Ava Pescator. Sophia Dietz. Anna Keckley. Claudia Diaz, come on up. Julia Keckley. Evelyn Adams. Juliana Kennedy. Paige Baker. Isabella Masucci. Competition cheer team, congratulations. Head coach is coaching flag football right now, but Melissa Menges. And our 2 assistants are here, Beth Samanchek and Angela Jessa Maria. Come on up. Homedale Comp Cheer, congratulations. Once again, congratulations to all our student athletes and teams for an outstanding winter. Great job.
All right, just going to ask the board to stay down for a bit longer. We actually have a presentation, which slipped my mind, actually, so I apologize. The Builders Club students put together a presentation. So at this time, I would just invite the Builders Club students back up. We'll queue up your presentation, and we can't wait to hear all about the work you've been doing. Thanks so much.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jordan Cohn, the Vice President of the Kiwanis Builders Club here at WR Sats Middle School. Right now, I'm here with Kenzie Mander, our secretary, and Mahadi and Leo, two key members of our club. Unfortunately, our president, Lizzie Stagner, was unable to attend. Next, we will be presenting what we've done and what's coming next. Who we are. We are the Kiwanis Builders Club. We are the middle school counterpart sponsored by the larger adult organization of Kiwanis. Most students think our club is just building with Legos, but we actually work together to help our community and support those families in need. So far this year, we've accomplished many amazing things, and we're so excited to share them with you tonight. Kicked off with Socktober. Our first community project of the year was a sock collection, which all the socks that we collected were donated to local homeless shelters. This was a team effort with Kiwanis, who made a generous contribution to help out with them. Trunk or Treat at Bayonet Farms. We joined Kiwanis at the annual Trunk or Treat event right before Halloween, happily handing out candy to all our trick-or-treaters. Next, I'm going to hand it over to Mahadi, one of the key members of our club, to continue.
So the Builders Club also supports student-led initiatives. This year, we supported our township's grassroots campaign called Goal Zero to address road safety. I worked to initiate Road Safety Week here at SATS the week before Thanksgiving with a couple of my peers. We created and put up signs to raise awareness about road safety and motivate good driving habits for drivers. The Builders Club participated in several events that supported the efforts of Bridges at the Shore, a local charitable organization that supports families in need. First, on November 22nd of last year, we held a morning bake sale where we brought in cupcakes, donuts, cookies, s'mores, and so much more. We successfully raised $235 and donated the proceeds to Bridges at the Shore to support families during the holiday season. In December, we volunteered at the annual Kiwanis Children's Christmas Party, where we helped with face painting, arts and crafts, and even assisted Santa in handing out gifts to the little ones. Many local children attended the party, and it was awesome to see them enjoy the spirit of the season. We also put together 152 holiday goodie bags, which were collected and assembled by our Builders Club members. These goodie bags, it's okay. These goodie bags, along with the gifts, were collected by Mrs. Barth through the SATS Holiday Giving Tree event and were then donated to Bridges by the Shore. Mrs. Logan, the director of Bridges at the Shore, put all our donations together with other items collected by her and set up a holiday store where local families could go shopping and select gifts for the little ones to enjoy the holiday season. Next, I'll be handing the mic over to Kenzie Mick.
Our next event was a Super Bowl drive, which was hosted by William R. Satz. and we collected 304 cans of soup from William Marsat students due to social studies teachers helping us with it. As you can see, they could choose to donate in a box labeled the Eagles or the Chiefs. And after reviewing the results, I can say we are definitely pro Eagles at William Marsat's. Then we chalked messages on the sidewalk in front of the school with positive messages and amazing artwork. And we partnered with SATS Student Council and the Art Club in order to get it all around the school. On April 2nd, we have a cereal drive, and anyone that doesn't go to SATS can also donate your cereal boxes at the front office. The cereal boxes go to the Keyport Food Drive for kids that don't have food in spring break. Donate your cereal boxes. I'm serious about that. After the cereal food drive, we also plan to visit a senior citizen center and then plant flowers at our 9/11 memorial with Lieutenant Sasso from Kiwanis. So now we want to thank Kiwanis for sponsoring and supporting us, which allowed us for all these amazing opportunities to contribute to our community.
We also wanted to express our gratitude to Mrs. Logan and Bridges at the Shore, as well as Miss Natalie at the Keyport Food Pantry for offering valuable community service opportunities.
Lastly, a big thank you to our Homedale community and all the families for your generosity and support in helping us make a difference. Thank you.
I'd like to thank all of you for sitting in and listening to our presentation we have set up for this meeting.
Okay, so that concludes our presentations. I just, quick word, I mean, wow. To the advisors, to the kids, I mean, just something. It's so easy nowadays to sometimes feel pessimistic about the state of affairs in our world. But when you listen to a presentation like that, you see young people contributing and giving back to their community and truly making their local community a better place. It's inspiring. So thanks, folks. And again, congratulations to all our athletes, all our families who came out. You're more than welcome to take your leave at this time. There is coffee and cookies outside, so please take advantage of that and have a safe trip home. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us tonight. Thank you for the students. Tomorrow's leaders. We're really proud of you, students. Thank you very much. All right, down to business here. I'll say that as a board member, these recognitions are special for all of us to see the students and the opportunities that they have at the school here. And I've seen that there is something for everybody to do and keep busy. And I'd like to say thank you to the teachers, the staff, the administration for providing these students with a tremendous amount of opportunities to participate. Certainly tomorrow's leaders, and we're proud of all of them. So have a good night, everybody. We're going to start the fun part of the meeting that everybody can't wait to hear about. All right, so we're going to move on to report of the student representatives of the board. Bella?
Hi, everyone. In recent and upcoming events at the high school, with junior prom coming up in May, prom packets are due this Friday, March 28th, so I urge you to get your students to get those in. In other news, this past week, we also had an SAB and National Honor Society sponsored event at the high school. This event was called Tape the President, involving each class's student council president being taped to the wall, with students buying tickets to tape their class president to the wall. Every ticket counted. We raised around $1,000 towards our American Cancer Society donations. Right now, I believe National Honor Society is at $15,000, and we continue to boost proceeds for the Relay for Life event in May. Student Council and National Honor Society sponsored that event together, and we urge you all to head out to the event in May. It's a community-wide event. We're currently ranked, I think, second in the central group for Relay for Life, which is great. Our community keeps adding to those proceeds, and seeing things like the Builders Club, that those are what's coming up, our future generations, really warms my heart. So along with that, I would just want to thank winter sports and everyone for coming out. Everyone's had a great season, and that's all for high school right now.
Thanks so much. I appreciate you sharing those kind words as well. We're going to move on to the report of the superintendent.
Thank you, President Damari. Pretty brief report this evening. I just wanted to call attention to a couple of things that are ongoing. So today we launched for the third year, our data triangle survey was released to parents and guardians. It went to our staff today, and students will be also taking the survey this week. This, if you recall, is one of the mechanisms by which we track annually our progress towards our strategic action plan and our district goals. And so there will be many reminders. I'll try to put out as many reminders as possible without being burdensome to our community, but really strongly encouraging a high participation rate this year. It's really important for folks to have their voices heard so that they can help inform our future decision making. So thanks in advance for that. Secondly, today the Artificial Intelligence Task Force held its first meeting. The purpose of this task force is to take this this rapidly evolving and transformative technology, which sort of just hit our profession kind of like a tsunami in the last year and a half. And like any complex phenomenon, without really thinking deliberately and strategically about how we want to harness it and address it, it's not going to happen. So that's really the charge of this committee. At the first meeting this week, we finalized stakeholder surveys. Now, we're probably going to hold off until early May in sending those out because we don't really want them to overlap with the strategic plan. But we are going to approach the development of this sort of like a mini strategic action plan for artificial intelligence like we did the larger strategic plan. We're going to start with surveys and focus groups, and then we're going to convene work groups over the summer to start fleshing out the action steps according to this plan. The plan will have various strategic intents or domains, and we'll go into next school year with a clear strategy and plan for how we intend to respond and harness this technology. So I just wanted to mention that. I want to thank Vice President Lopresti as well as Board Member Kalur, both of whom have taken an active interest in this and will be part of that work moving forward. Final point on that is we will be, as we move into these work groups over the summer, we will be inviting participants from various stakeholder groups to work with us on that action planning. Final item, Mr. President, I just wanted to call attention to the fact that on tonight's agenda, the board will prospectively accept the resignation of Jessica Dewysaki, our Assistant Business Administrator. So I just wanted to publicly thank her for her years of service to the district and wish her all the best in her future endeavors.
Thank you for that. I appreciate the AI task force. I just want to make a quick comment on that. I believe Homedale School District was one of the first to implement an artificial intelligence policy, and this technology is moving at us fairly quickly, and it's coming up in all conversations within education. And certainly a lot for public schools to be focused on these days with a lot of the financial deficits everybody's dealing with. But it's great to see that Homedale is looking like a trailblazer in this space. So I appreciate you putting that task force together, and it's going to be great to see what comes out of it. So thanks for all involved. The harassment, intimidation, and bullying report, please.
Mr. President, I submit the report as presented in closed executive session.
Thank you. Questions or comments from the public on agenda action items only? Mr. Lochran, come on down. You know the drill.
Good evening. Thank you for allowing me to speak. I want to speak on items 5, 6, and 8 on your agenda this evening. I'd like to start with number 8, and I'll echo Dr. Cascone's remarks. I'm sad to see that Ms. Iwasaki will be leaving. I enjoyed working with her during my time here. She was especially helpful in working through some of the intricacies of budget line items and things like that, and I certainly wish her all the best in her future personal and professional endeavors. I also want to publicly congratulate Ms. Jeanette Malizia on her retirement. She served 20 years in the district, and her first year, for those who may not know this, was as a high school English teacher and ESL program here. I had the good fortune of, it was my first year as an AP, and she was instrumental in really developing what has come to be a top-notch ESL program. Her work at the high school and then later at the elementary schools set the bar, a high standard for which all of our students and parents enjoy, and she will be very much missed in the district, and I want to wish her a healthy and happy retirement. And I also want to speak on the retirement of Mr. Joe Flores. Before there was a Dr. DeVivo, there was a Mr. Flores. He came to us as a guidance counselor in 1989. He served here, I believe, will have served 36 years in the district. Prior to coming to Homedale, he was a Spanish teacher at Mater Dei. And when he came here, he served not only as a guidance counselor, but as the theater director, the leader of HTG. In his 25 years or so of service in that position, he was the director of close to or just surpassing 75 shows. A quarter century of students came through under his tutelage. We here in Homedale give our kids the opportunity for 3 performances a year. Most schools only have 2. So we're the beneficiaries of our partnership with the Homedale Theater Company, which allows us to perform these one-act plays, the one-act festivals, which are extremely popular and are a showcase for our outgoing seniors. All of this was developed and cultivated by Mr. Flores. He's been a guidance counselor so long here that his roles have shifted. He is an invaluable mentor to the counselors who are there today. And I can say, having worked for 34 years with Mr. Flores, there is no finer person who's come through here and who exhibits what it means to be a Homedale Hornet and a commitment to excellence than Mr. Flores. Words cannot express the impact he's had here, and his is going to be a huge loss for the district. And he deserves every bit of praise that he has coming to him over the next couple of months. I hold him in the highest of esteem, and I wish him a happy and healthy retirement. Thank you.
Thanks for stopping by, Bill, and sharing those kind words and the respect you have for your colleagues over the years that you've worked with them. We appreciate that. Okay, action items. We will first make a motion on 1 through 4 and 9 through so 1 through 4 and 9 through 39. We'll make a move on. Motion? Roll call? Second? Second. Roll call? Yeah, I did.
Mr. Reddy?
Wait, hold on. Sorry. Yeah, I said 1 through 4 and 9.
Can ask for discussion before.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Reddy?
Yes.
Dr. Kalor?
Yes.
Mr. Mann?
Yes.
Mr. Buckley?
Yes.
Mr. Kim?
Yes.
Mrs. Lopresti?
Yes.
Mr. Damari?
Yes. Thank you. Raymond, can you read number 5 for us, please, if you have it available? Thank you.
Whereas Miss Jeanette Malazia has served the Homedale Township Public Schools with distinction since September 1st, 2005. And whereas Miss Malazia has faithfully executed her duties with skill and competency. And whereas Miss Malazia has earned the respect of her colleagues and community residents. And whereas Miss Malazia has submitted her letter announcing her retirement for Homedale Township School District effective July 1st, 2025.
Thank you, Raymond. Motion? Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Reddy,
Yes, congratulations.
Dr. Kalora,
Yes, thank you for your services.
Mr. Mann,
Yes, congratulations.
Mr. Buckley,
Yes, congratulations.
Mr. Kim,
Yes, congratulations.
Mrs. Lopresti,
Yes, thank you and congratulations.
Mr. Damari.
Yes, thank you and congratulations. Pete, can you read number 6 for us, please?
Sure, it'd be my pleasure. Acceptance of retirement counselor, Homedale High School. Whereas Mr. Joseph Caloris has served the Homedale Township Public Schools with distinction since September 1st, 1989, that's 36 years. And whereas Mr. Caloris has faithfully executed his duties with skill and competency, and whereas Mr. Caloris has earned the respect of his colleagues and community residents, and whereas Mr. Caloris has submitted a letter announcing his retirement from the Homedale Township School District effective July 1st, 2025. Now therefore be it resolved that the Homedale Township Board of Education accepts Joseph Caloris' retirement with deep gratitude for Mr. Caloris' dedication, loyalty, and outstanding services performed, and further extend to Mr. Caloris its best wishes for a happy and healthy retirement.
Thank you, Pete. Motion?
Motion?
I need a second.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call.
I'll say something, Chris.
Sure.
So for the last decade, going to all the graduations, I got to know Mr. Caloris because he's always up there, and he's been here, like Bill said, for a long, long time. I think he was a couple of years after Bill started, I believe. I think Bill started 1 year. Thank you, sir. And it's just an old guy from the 80s. We don't have that many teachers left from the 80s, and I love seeing Joe Caloris every year because at the high school graduation, every year people would be flocking to him that graduated in the 80s, 90s, that have kids and grandkids now that go to this school. So he will definitely be missed. Definitely a irreplaceable guy that has done a great job in this district. So Mr. Caloris, I see you're out there. I congratulate you, I salute you, and I thank you.
Thanks, Pete. Yeah, I'll say also that I really appreciate the decades of service and, since being on the board and seeing some of our staff here since I was a student is incredible, and just really respect the time that you put in for our students. Thank you. Anybody else? Motion? Move. Okay, roll call.
Mr. Reddy,
Yes, absolutely. Congratulations.
Dr. Kalora,
Yes, congratulations.
Mr. Mann,
Yes, thank you for your service.
Mr. Buckley,
Yes, congratulations.
Mr. Kim,
Yes, congratulations.
Mrs. Lopresti.
Yes, congratulations and thank you for 30+ years here.
Mr. Damari.
Yes, thank you and congratulations. John, can you read number 7, please?
Sure, thank you. Acceptance of retirement paraprofessional village school. Whereas Miss Deborah Wilkham has served the Homedale Township Public Schools with distinction since September 1st, 2005. And whereas Mrs. Wilkham has faithfully executed her duties with skill and competency. And whereas Mrs. Wilkham has earned the respect of her colleagues and community residents. And whereas Mrs. Wilkham had submitted her letter announcing her retirement from the Homedale Township School District effective July 1st, 2025.
Motion? Thanks, John.
Move.
Second.
Discussion? Roll call?
Mr. Reddy,
Yes,
Dr.
congrats.
Kalora,
Yes, congratulations and thank you.
Mr. Mann,
Yes, thank you.
Mr. Buckley,
Yes, congratulations.
Mr. Kim,
Yes, congratulations.
Mrs. Lopresti,
Yes, congratulations, thank you.
Mr. Damari.
Yes, thank you and congratulations. Allison, can you read number 8, please?
Sure. Acceptance of resignation, Assistant Business Administrator, Just Iwasaki. Resolved that the board accept the resignation of Jessica Iwasaki, Assistant Business Administrator, District, effective May 16th, 2025.
Thanks, Allison. Motion?
Motion.
I need a second.
Second.
Discussion? Go ahead,
Thank
Allison.
you. I just want to say, Jess, thank you for everything. I know you were instrumental in getting me up to speed on School Board Finances 101 when I started on the board. Always very responsive, very respectful, professional, and I appreciate all the time and energy you spent putting together all this data we're now presenting to the community in different ways. So I appreciate it. Best of luck on your new adventures.
Thanks, Allison. I'll also say something similar. I really appreciate you, Jess, for since I've been on the board, you are always readily available to provide any answers. A lot of questions come your way in the role that you were in. Very important, all that work that you did compiling this 15 years of historical data, and our community appreciates that. That's created a lot of transparency for everybody. So thank you very much, and I wish you all the best in your next endeavor.
And I'll just say thank you to Jessica for helping me through this transition and the budget season these past 3 months. You will be missed.
Thank you, Deb.
Jessica, I'll say, I remember the day your first meeting here, and I'll give credit to Mike Petrizzo. I know he's not listening, but he's always found good talent and really good people. And I think in the tenure I've been here, he's had at least three ABAs, and every one of them have been great. And Jessica, you've done an excellent job. Thomas Dwayne and a few others. So you'll be missed. I'm glad you at least help out a new BA for a few more months, and appreciate that.
I know where to find her.
I'd like to echo that same sentiment, Jessica. It was really, really valuable. You were full of knowledge. You were very patient and helpful, over my last 3.5 years as well. Thank you for your help.
Thank you, Sarika. All right, motion. Second roll call.
Mr. Reddy,
Yes.
Dr. Kalor, Mr. Mann,
Yes, thank you, Jessica.
Mr. Buckley,
Yes, thank you, Jessica.
Mr. Kim,
Yes, thank you, Jessica.
Mrs. Lopresti,
Yes, thanks, Jess.
and Mr. Demore.
Yes, thank you, Jess. All right, moving on to old business. Anybody? All right. New business. Anybody have anything to say? We're really going to make this a quick night? Okay.
I'm not always the one to delay the meeting, but in a prior meeting, I had brought up a concern about the safety of the school bus drop-off lane, and was able to witness it firsthand. I just would like to see some improvement there. It's a little bit dangerous in the manner the cars travel through, and students running back and forth between the bus drop-off and
Is this Village?
here at the complex.
At the here?
Yeah.
Oh, right
Yeah.
in the front of
On the side of
okay.
Sat, yeah.
On the side of
Yeah,
Sat.
so it's just, cars are coming through, likely distracted by the amount of just the volume of activity going on. And, I did witness one student kind of run across, and a car did have to brake pretty hard to avoid it. So just something to think about. I'd like to see, somebody go out and take a look and see if we can rectify that.
Mr. Buckley, just to clarify, this is on the, by the Germanario Field side,
Yes.
on the side of the middle school. Is that the primary area we're talking about?
I call it the Pop Warner Field. I don't know.
Pop Warner Field.
That was a fun time.
Chris, the only two things I missed last month, but the first thing I was going to say, Scott, did we talk about the snow days? The 2 snow days are going back. Have we communicated that to the public yet? Because I know one is like next Monday, right? Or not next Monday. Next Monday is Eid, but I think in a couple weeks.
It went out. It went out on Scott's newsletter.
Yeah. Yeah, it went out. It's gonna go out in the principal updates. I'll continue to put it in my newsletter, and it's it's the Monday of after Easter Monday after the spring break.
Okay, yeah, because invariably you have a couple of kids on bus stops because parents will forget, not thinking they have school, and hey, you'll put a kid on a bus stop and
I'm
no
sure
bus.
no matter how many times we put it out there, there'd probably be some kids at the bus stop either way.
And then the other thing I was going to say was I wasn't here last week, but do want to say, at least from my perspective, it was nice to see the township helping us with our budget, which is the worst one we've had, and as long as I've been here for a decade. Hopefully we could figure out, hopefully this wasn't a one-time thing, because if it's a one-time thing, we're in big trouble. This is going to fill up most of the hole, but as the new BA can probably attest to, next year is going to be even a bigger challenge. So hopefully if the township is listening, or they listen to our messages, hopefully we could come to some sort of shared revenue service agreement next year or something, but very appreciative of this year because it really, really helps. So thanks.
Great point, Pete. And I definitely agree with you there. I think that I'm proud of this board and administration for being so transparent with the community as soon as we possibly could, and let them know, and through our BOE newsletter and whatever other communication channels, to be transparent. Again, we talked about the 15 years of historical data. That has proven to be extremely valuable to look at. And yeah, after our budget presentation, we've certainly seen a fair share of reports of other public schools. I mean, the word is out. You know, every public school out there is suffering a financial deficit. We've seen neighboring schools dealing with a lot, potentially closing schools, getting rid of courtesy busing. And I think the best thing we could do as a board is continue to speak to our community and give them well awareness that they can join the conversation, opportunities to provide their feedback, because there's definitely going to be more difficult decisions next year. And I do hope that the township committee continues working with the school. We certainly appreciate that. I wanted to get back to John as well, just in terms of this is a new year with the drop off. I get what he's saying too, because I sometimes am dropping off also, and you know, you have a drop off lane and then cars that keep coming, and then they have to kind of merge. I guess my question is, with the road project going underway, do we anticipate that they'll probably change next year with the road once the road project's complete? Is there going to be potentially a different drop off zone, or what do we don't know yet?
Yeah, I'm not, I would say that we will most likely go with the status quo, you know, at
Okay.
least initially, until we collect some data over the course of a couple of weeks to see the extent to which the modifications have really alleviated that. My hunch is that we're going to have to continue to be very deliberate in the way that we manage the traffic on campus, because we still are going to have, you know, a large number of cars coming to campus at a single point in time.
Sure.
And so while that road project will mitigate it, I think we'll still have to be very hands-on in the way we manage the flow on campus.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And also we appreciate the administration of putting a plan together for this new start times. And it was interesting. I actually saw on social media some random post from 2017 popped up. Good old Terrence talking about the change in the roads. And here we are 8 years later. And we talked about this last meeting. You have all of our schools are pretty much doubled in size, and the roadways have never been modernized. So there's single lanes. So I hope the community's listening and understands that, you know, this backlog's been going on. I mean, first off, we're in a small town. We have single lanes. You have everybody merging to the schools. It's going to happen by default. So there's no way to get all these cars in and out with the buses. But this has been going on for a while. I would say that with the new start times, initially it was backed up a little bit more. You know, I always look at it as an extra, 5 or 10 minutes in the car with your child and spend time with them. And I think that the administration has done a great job, and the staff kind of tweaking it as we go, and continue to put a tremendous amount of focus on the safety and getting the students in and out. And I know they'll continue to do that. So yeah, we're excited. If you could see, there's markings going on. There's engineers out there. I think that they're going to break ground, I believe, during the summer. So there's going to be a lot of work going on. And I know we're all excited about it. So
Chris, do they plan to do all 8 projects, or are we doing, or is it's got to be in phases, right?
What was the question? I'm
are they
sorry.
planning on doing all 8 of the projects? Like, are they doing everything during the summer?
No, I believe that there are multiple phases to
Yeah,
the
I was
project,
gonna
and
say,
phase
yeah, 'cause
one.
that'd be a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I
that's
think
cool.
phase one, and I can't speak to exactly what that entails, but I do know that it entails the widening on Crawford's Corner going into the high school complex.
Yeah, so we'll continue to update the community as we work closely with the township, and it's going to be an exciting, long overdue project. So, any other new business? Jeff, I see you over there. You're thinking about it.
I was just going to chime in about the it's the drop off. It's actually during pickup too, to clarify. It's a combination of parents rushing home and high school kids driving out of there. It's dangerous, and I've almost witnessed a couple kids getting hit. So it's Jackson being one of them. So it's you got to be really diligent there, because it is dangerous, and it's a good point, John.
Yeah, and also a good opportunity to just, remind all the drivers out there to, you're going into a complex, you're going to have students running around, and a lot of people, and like you said, Jeff, we're in a rush, right? We live in a rushed world. We got places to go. But let's pull back a little bit as we're getting into the schools to make sure that everybody's safe. So appreciate mentioning that. All right. Anybody else have anything to share? Or are we going to move on to questions or comments? All right. So questions or comments from the public? Bill, come on down. Thank you.
Before I make my comments, does anybody remember Mr. Ed Wreckage, longtime PE teacher here?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
I know John does, right?
Mr. Wreckage had a saying, some of you may have endured it when he would make his driving presentations that we used to tie in with driving privileges. Parents would come for an evening, and he would say to the parents, I'm going to share with you some thoughts tonight. He said, some of the things I'm going to say you'll agree with, some of the things you won't, and I hope that you'll at least consider the rest. And then he would go on to his spiel about the 17 commandments of driving, and he would tell 3 anecdotes for every commandment, and he would just drill people to the ground over 90 minutes. So anyway, I kind of feel that way right now. I'm going to say a couple things tonight that I think you'll agree with, some you won't, and I hope that you'll consider the rest. For those who don't know, I'm currently serving as the acting principal at Westfield High School. Their principal is out on a leave, and so I started that position in January, and I expect to conclude it at the end of the school year. It was good fortune for me and for them, I think, that they are committed to the rotating schedule beginning in September of next year. And that wasn't the reason why I was there. I just happened to be there when they were making the presentation. I said, I know a little bit about this. So we got to talking, and now that they're in the final stages, we're at the point now where we are conducting school visits, not for the purpose of deciding what format we should take, but for the purpose of teachers meeting with other teachers to see how you work in this environment, because it's going to be an adjustment for a school district that's going from a traditional 8 43-minute periods to, this rotating model of 55. And this week alone, we have lined up 6 visits. Monday, we were at Ridge High School. Yesterday, we were at Governor Livingston High School. Today, we were at Chatham High School. Tomorrow, we'll be in Madison High School. Friday, we're going to be at Rumson Fairhaven. And then next Wednesday, we're going to be at Livingston. So we have 35 or so staff members who are going out and meeting with their colleagues in other districts, ostensibly to learn how to work in the format. And the districts that we visited so far could not be more generous with their time and their talents and so forth. And one of the things that has been especially invigorating for the staff at Westfield is the opportunity to talk shop with their colleagues, to trade good ideas. For example, and I remember back when we were doing it, and then when we did it subsequently for the middle school, I remember distinctly visiting Chatham's middle school. And I don't know if you know this, but the Standing Up for Intolerance class that we brought here was actually, the idea for it came from Chatham when they talked about how they do cycle courses. I didn't go there thinking about that, but when I heard that, it struck a note in me that we could pair Ms. Cremoli with the cycle class. And then out of it came Standing Up for Intolerance, which I know, is a valuable course. And I believe you've extended it now into high school offerings. None of that may have happened without that thought exchange. Yesterday, I'm meeting with the principal of Governor Livingston. And if you check the demographics, they're almost the same size as us. Pretty much everything. Group 2 school, 900 kids. They've been in the rotating schedule for 15 years. And the principal told me that 5 years ago, they started very intentionally breaking down data beyond just surface test scores and reports and finding out what were the skills where the kids who were almost at that proficient level in your subgroups and things like that. And how can we revamp the program within the confines of the rotating schedule and come up with something that helps the students who need to pass it, and then a happy accident beyond that. They've raised their average SAT score in the last 5 years by over 100 points. And they attribute it to some of the tweaks they made in what they're offering within the schedule. So obviously that piqued an eye with me. How do you do that? How do you improve SAT scores across an entire school by 100 points in 5 years? Those are the kind of good ideas that you get when you speak with other people. And I know, and I applaud that we're putting out surveys with strategic planning and things like that. But sometimes good information can be gleaned the old-fashioned way, by talking to people, by trading stories, by coming in contact. I can't tell you how invigorating it's been for the Westfield staff to go out and meet other people, high-performing district, talking to other high-performing districts, finding out they have common issues, and coming together with some brainstorming on how they might overcome some of these things. And likewise, in speaking with the principals, they are telling me about how great it's been for their school to share these ideas, and for a school like Westfield, highly regarded, to come ask them about what they're doing. Really a great learning opportunity that, you know, kind of is in between all the things that we do with mission statements and plans and things like that. So the reason I'm really here to tell you about that's been, for me, really great, you know, reinvigorating, you know, because I had gone through that a decade ago, and to see other schools now participating in is really, it's really fun. So imagine my discouragement when I asked if I could bring a team of Westfield teachers here so that I could let the Westfield teachers meet with the Homedale teachers. Because since you know me, there's no bigger cheerleader for this district than me over the last 35 years. And all I've done for the last 2 years is extol the virtues of this place. I tell them all the time, oh, in Homedale, this is how we did it, this is how we did it, so on and so forth. So I was a little embarrassed when I asked, could I come here and bring teachers? I specifically said, I want teachers to meet other teachers. And I was told that it wasn't possible to visit, but if I wanted to, I could set up a conference call, and high school administrators could speak to our administrators at Westfield, talk about the pros and cons of the schedule to help us make a decision. When I very clearly said the decision had been made, and now we just wanted the nitty-gritty, the front lines. I have to think my email wasn't read closely the first time, and it was bitterly ironic that I had brought the schedule here 10 years ago. It was my mission here for 10 years before that. So appreciate the irony there. It's left a bad taste in my mouth, that's for sure. And it's been embarrassing to me because people knew I asked up at Westfield, how come we're not going to Homedale? I said, they don't want me or us. And it's a bad look for Homedale, I have to think. You know, we want to say we have a commitment to excellence. And I can remember many times at faculty meetings here saying, even though we're at the top of the food chain, test scores and everything else, it's like a submarine. You have to put the periscope up once in a while and look around, see what other people are doing. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't, but you're not committed to continuous improvement unless you're seeing what's going on around you. Now, for too long, we didn't do that in this district, and now you guys are dealing with playing catch up after the fact. That happens to a lot of school districts who are high achieving. You know, the reluctance to change because it's working out. We don't need to do this. I think a good opportunity was lost, not just for the Westfield people, but also for the Homedale staff. I think good old-fashioned talking to people, sharing ideas, articulating, and not living in the bubble that we sometimes call it, is something we ought to think long and hard about as we chart our future here in this district. Thank you for your time. Have a good evening.
Thanks, Bill, for sharing that. I know Dr. Cascone was going to respond.
Yeah, so thank you, Bill. First and foremost, I'm disappointed that that there was no outreach to me prior to you making these comments in public. I don't recall having any communication from you on the matter, so I think that merits mentioning publicly. Second is, I'm not sure, I think the message was lost in translation. There was, if you got the response that you were not welcome here and that your teachers were not welcome here, that message was delivered erroneously. The scope of the visit may not necessarily have been as extensive as you had in other schools, and as the building principal and the superintendent, that's our prerogative to protect instructional time and to protect the school environment. But it was always going to be offered up as an opportunity to have a round table with teachers at the table. So if you received a message other than that, I apologize for that. That was not what was intended to be delivered. In terms of the idea that we're burying our heads in the sand here, Bill, I would respectfully disagree with you. Over the course of the last 3 years, we've welcomed countless people into our district. Our administrators and teachers are regularly venturing out beyond the confines of our district to learn from others. So I think it's important for that to be corrected for the record. I would respectfully and vigorously disagree with you on that characterization. So I'm disappointed, having been colleagues for 3 years, that you did not reach out to me prior to coming and saying this in public. And secondly, I'm not sure where the message got lost in translation, but that was definitely not my position in terms of the visit. I definitely will be following up to understand how that message was lost in translation.
Thank you for that. May I, may I say?
Oh,
something
go
else?
for it, Bill.
Yeah, you have welcomed people. In fact, it was, I can't help but think it was somehow personal when Wall High School and Rumson Fairhaven were welcomed here in the last 3 years to visit and talk about the schedule under Dr. Kokoda. Dr. Gascon, I understand how you feel. You have to defend your staff and your administration. But the fact that you could respond that way and say that there was going to be a round table of teachers, A, that was not communicated in the email. B, that means you kind of knew about it. And you're saying that I need to reach out to you before I make a public comment. I would say, why didn't you reach out to me? Given my 35 years here as a professional courtesy, or at least, our 3 years working together. I will continue to support the school. I will continue to be its biggest cheerleader. I'm just saying that this is a bad look. Thank you.
And I'll respond in kind. I was aware of your outreach to visit the school, and I was under the impression and the understanding that you would be coming with administrators and teachers, that we would have an opportunity to roundtable and share that information. I was never aware of the fact that the response was you can't come or just schedule a conference call. That was not the substance of my conversation with Dr. Hertz, and I'm not sure why that was conveyed to you in that nature, but that was not my understanding of what was going to happen.
Well, that's disappointing because the email was very specific to visit with teachers, not to get a surface view, but actually to communicate and articulate with teachers, which would have taken no more than 3 hours and would have been volunteer of maybe 5 people. So it's disappointing that you didn't get the message. It's disappointing, and I remain steadfast. Perception drives the truth. And my perception is I wasn't welcome here with my team, and I find that bitterly ironic and disappointing. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Bill. And that's it.
I was going to say something just if I can.
All right,
Just-
go ahead. Yeah, of course.
So I remember what Bill was saying was very true. And, sorry to hear that, Bill, you say that, because I remember going to Governor Livingston with you and a bunch of people and a bunch of board members when we were, for years, it was bandied about, I think before I even got on the board, of going through the rotating schedule. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, why are we playing with this idea for 7, 8 years? Let's just do it. And if it doesn't work, put it back. We did it, and it's been a great thing for the district. And I remember specifically sitting with teachers and administrators of Governor Livingston. They told us all the benefits, the pros and cons, how hard it was, how heavy of a lift it was. So, and I was literally writing here going, wow, why doesn't he come to Homedale? I was like, he's mentioning all these other schools. I'm like, so a missed opportunity to brag, right? And also obviously to work with other schools and stuff like that. And I didn't realize mysteries in history, which I think was that's what Standing Up to Intolerance, I think, was originally going to be called. And Holocaust, yeah, we thought that was a bad title, but I never knew it came from that walkthrough. So, hopefully, hey, make a mistake, fix it, and do better next time would be my thought. But
Well, okay. Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I don't want to point fingers and say anybody made a mistake either. I mean, I'm not really even aware of this, so it's good that it got out in the open. But I'd like to keep it positive amongst respected colleagues and people who love Homedale. So we had a chance to discuss it tonight, and I'm sure that Dr. Cascone will be following up behind the scenes.
Thank you.
And we'll take it from there. All right. Any other questions from the public? All right. Adjournment.
Move.
I need a second. All say aye. Aye. Thank you.